With less than 8 days to go until Endgame is released, Omid Scobie is not liking the coverage in the press right now, and it seems like he's having an epic meltdown on Twitter. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef the Alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye, and oh my goodness. Yeah, let's jump into it, shall we? So I'm just gonna quickly let you know what's in the media at the moment and how Omid Scobie is reacting it to all with what I would say is an epic meltdown on Twitter, to say the least. So at the moment, it's being reported that everyone is saying the same thing about Omid Scobie's book Endgame. There's a lot of speculation at the moment, and everyone's taken to social media to suggest that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, Hazza and Megxie, are the ones behind the book, and that they are, quote, the sources that have been used to compile the information that Omid Scobie has got, right? Now, this comes after it was found out that Megxie did provide information for his first book, Finding Freedom, which was released in 2020 and was co-authored with Caroline Durand. And because of this, a lot of people now are turning around and saying, well, look, you know, if Megxie was involved with the first book, Finding Freedom, it stands to reason that, you know, there's a reasonable speculation that Megxie and Hazza are involved with Endgame, right? And so let's just remind ourselves, okay, that originally Omid Scobie, for Finding Freedom, he denied that Megxie and Hazza had any involvement whatsoever with his first book. So watch this, right?
Some of the anecdotes and stories in the book are incredibly personal, aren't they? I know they've denied it, but did you speak with Harry and Meghan directly?
No, we didn't speak with Harry and Meghan directly. They didn't cooperate with the book, and there's certainly no secret off-the-record conversations that have taken place either.
Right. However, consider Exhibit B, and we've got literally Megxie to Mr. Knopf, who was the communications secretary at the time for her and Hazza when they were in the royal family, saying, quote, "Has Omid gotten back to you with his outline of what he foresees covering in the book? If so, can please let me know in a separate email, and then I can make the decision about whether to invite him to report on a royal engagement accordingly." She got found out. She got caught to the point where she had to apologise to the High Court and be like, "Oh, sorry, I misremembered or was mistaken." Yeah. Okay, so that's currently in the news. The other thing that's currently in the news is the reaction to Endgame and the first excerpt that Omid Scobie released last week via The People. And the Daily Mirror here with the front page saying, "Is nothing sacred? Outrageous Harry and Meg book reveals details around Queen's death." And here we go, the start of Omid Scobie's meltdown on Twitter. "I'm sure that many victims of the Mirror's alleged phone hacking have asked the same thing. Is nothing sacred?" Okay, right, hang on a minute. Slow down a little bit, because it's alleged phone hacking, but also then it means alleged victims, right? The court case is going through at the moment against the Mirror Group newspapers, MGN. There's been no ruling yet as to whether MGN has been found guilty or not. So they're not victims. They are alleged victims. But yeah, Omid Scobie, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, had to be like, "There's nothing sacred in my book. How dare you attack my book, The Mirror, because do you know what? You are dirty scum with the alleged phone hacking, with the alleged victims," right? He is not liking this coverage one tiny bit. And this bit is even funnier, guys. So the Daily Mail released this article a couple of days ago with the headline, "With his Chanel skis and 5-star celebrity lifestyle, has Harry and Meghan's cheerleader-in-chief, Omid Scobie, become even more regal than them?" I mean, you know, Maybe, maybe not. I don't care. Do you care? I know I don't care. But Omid does. Oh, yeah. He went back to Twitter again for another epic meltdown, in my opinion, saying, can the next person who wants to write that I have bloody Chanel skis at least fact check with me? I snowboard. My body's from Burton. Stop making crap up. Like, oh my goodness, this to me is a proper epic meltdown. Why? Because I feel a lot of emotion in this, right? It's like anyone who wants to write about those bloody Chanel skis, stop making crap up. This is very emotional. To me, it's like he got his emotions the better of him, right? Instead, he could have just turned round and calmly been like, there's an article out there that I have Chanel skis. I don't. I do snowboard. It's from Burton. There we go. Done and dusted. Just said the facts and that's it. But this meltdown got a little bit emotional. So much so to the point where he then was responding to comments. So Maley says, you can give me your Chanel skis though if you want. And he says, sure, you can find them in the imagination of anyone working at the Daily Mail. So he's completely like turning around and saying, anyone at the Daily Mail basically lies. A bitty conspiracy theory, whatever, right? Artful Dodger says, I feel like you're being a bit bougie here, as if skis are so passé. And he says, nah, just tired of the BS articles. But Omid Scobie, he's not an idiot, guys. He knows. He's been in the newspaper industry, you know, being royal editor and all this malarkey, right? He knows that there are going to be articles out there that are going to be BS. He knows that in the position that he's in, most likely some of those articles about him are going to be BS. You would have thought, with his experience, that he would rise above it and not do these mini Twitter meltdowns on Twitter, really, in the grand scheme of things. But let's go a little bit closer, okay, into this Burton snowboard that he says that he's got, right? So we don't know specifically which version he has, but the top end, okay, of a Burton snowboard is £1,600, okay? Now, Chanel skis, the best information I can get about them, run at about £2,480. So you're looking at circa £800 difference between Chanel skis and a Burton snowboard. There's not that much difference in it. It's not like you're talking thousands of pounds difference between a Burton snowboard and Chanel skis. Instead, you're just talking hundreds of pounds difference. So, really? Why he's having a meltdown as to someone misreporting him having Chanel skis rather than a Burton board when there's not much in it when it comes to the price of these things? It's a little bit beyond me, to say the least. But no, it does not stop there, because he then goes a little bit bizarre. So this was back in 2020, okay, where I found this tweet. And he says, okay, when a dog barks at the moon, no one pays attention. But if the moon barks back, the dog becomes famous. Always be the moon. Now, I get the sentiment. A little bit of a strange analogy, if I do say so myself, but I do get the sentiment. Therefore, Omid, little bit of a word in your shell, like, pal. Maybe you should follow your own advice and always be the moon. Always be the moon. What are you doing? Why are you having these little mini epic, I would say, Twitter meltdowns? Like, seriously, follow your own advice. Always be the moon. With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, believe me, oh yeah, there's gonna be more. Do stay tuned for an Omid exclusive at my end. Make sure you subscribe to join our alternate tribe so you don't miss out on that. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. And to subscribe, help us get to 100k so we can get that silver play button right there. And hopefully cause a boozy meltdown on Twitter. And if you've got some very strong opinions about Omid Scobie, and I bet you do, then make sure you send me a super thanks. It's just below this video right here. We can have a conversation about this because it does guarantee a response from me. And until the next time, you guys, laters.